Does the latest Redfin real estate report show home prices falling? A viewer on our YouTube channel left an interesting comment this past weekend that really had my head spinning. He explained that he had checked the Redfin data center and that it revealed that both home prices and home values were falling at the national level. Well, he certainly got my attention. After all, I've been reporting the gross lack of supply and adequate demand to continue to fuel appreciation. So how is it that a real estate website can report that home prices are dropping? When I went to the Redfin data site, I found what he reported was true. I was initially perplexed, but after digging deeper, I found the devil in the details that you should know. Today's post serves to remind us that you can read almost anything into data, so you must really pay attention and scrutinize what you're seeing. I'll take you on a brief journey, starting with the graph that got this whole topic rolling, to show you how good data can yield accidental interpretations when not properly evaluated. This is the graph that caught our viewers' attention. It plots the median sales price on the upper part and the year-over-year change of the median sales price at the lower part. The black line shows that the median home price has come down. I spent several minutes looking at this thinking, how can that be? So I decided to really dig in. I have added some prices to the graph that you can obtain by hovering over the Redfin graphs on their websites. The numbers added to the graph show the price decline and the reduction of the year-over-year gains, just as our viewer had mentioned. But then I caught the devil in the details. Have you seen it yet? The information shown is just for a 4-week period of time. Years 2019 through 2021 plot 4 weeks of change at the end of each respective year, while 2022 plots the most recent 4 weeks, and we clearly see a decline in home prices. At first, I thought I was seeing the bottom of the market falling out. But then I had my aha moment. Have you seen it yet? Rather than fixate on a 4-week period, let's zoom out to see if those 4 weeks are significant. When we study the median home price over time, we do not see straight line appreciation or depreciation. Rather, we see a jagged series of a generally rising trend. In fact, in each year plotted on the graph, we find declines in the median home price. What we are seeing right now, we have seen before, during the highest run-up in home prices in more than 15 years. There have been numerous times in each of the last few years that the median sales price has dropped, only to continue higher later. Now, that doesn't mean a downward trend hasn't started, it's just far too early to say. Think about how many times one could have thought prices were dropping if we only studied 4-week windows in the past. If you are a long-term subscriber, then you know I bring housing market data from all sources to my channel to get a broad view of the housing market. And if you're not a subscriber, please click the thumbs up like button and subscribe now so that you get all my new content when it is fresh. If you really want to know what's going on in housing, to see and hear the data explained, to evaluate the facts and ignore the hype that is so prevalent online, then subscribe now and I'll keep you in the know. What I realized when viewing the 4-week graphs from Redfin is that it's just not looking at a long enough period of time to attribute any kind of trend. When we lengthen our graph of the median home price to the past 10 years in a few key metro areas, as well as the national plot, we find that there is a recent dip at the U.S. level, while various markets are rising and others are falling. I have boxed in the previous 5 months to isolate this period from all others. Do you see anything different than what has happened since 2012? There have been times in each of the past 10 years where a 4-week study could have led us to believe that prices were falling. To me, the progression appears to be unchanged. Only hindsight will prove me right or wrong. One fallacy of tracking the median home price to determine whether home prices are falling or rising is that the median or average home price is more of an indicator of what buyers are spending rather than the change in values of homes. Instead, it is far more prudent to track the median home value, measured in price per square foot. If buyers have less money to spend, and buyers today versus those in the recent past have less to spend due to rising mortgage interest rates, then we have to ask ourselves whether buyers are purchasing the same quality house for less money, or are they buying a lower quality house? This graph shows that the median home value has moved higher, like home prices, with a ragged ascent to today's higher ground. Again, we see the national average on a tiny decline, but it is far too early to announce a decline for home sellers. I believe Redfin provides a great resource to assess current changes in the market, unlike the other reporting agencies that are often weeks or months behind. But I have learned that I need to read the graph instructions closely. This graph was produced from my Tallahassee data set, which allows me to be very current with my information. It plots the trend of the monthly median price per square foot of both new and existing homes and calculates the difference between the two in order to determine the premium that buyers pay to buy a brand new home. It starts with data from 2003 and shows the new construction premium has jumped from an average below 10% to as high as more than 50% back in 2016. When I looked back to dates before this graph, the premium was typically in the 5 to 15% range. Today, the 5-year trend has dropped to 32%. Simply put, builders today have costs that are far higher than the existing market, so they cannot serve those buying near the median. The market today cannot absorb what the builders can build. The combination of wage growth and the COVID-related supply disruptions have made home building very expensive. We might see some relief from material costs, but as one local builder pointed out, we won't see labor costs come down. In fact, they are soaring. Of all the graphs in this report, I believe this one provides the best evidence that home prices will continue to increase. The U.S. needs more houses for both buyers and renters, but the prices to produce these homes will be high. While I expect the number of home sales to slow, I still expect a jagged move upwards for home values, just as we've seen in the past. You must remember that increased labor costs impact all material costs, including the production and transportation of those materials. Additionally, the cost of land is moving higher too, as NIMBYism is making it difficult to get new homes developed today. The inventory of homes in the U.S. has not kept up with population growth, and thus the new homes coming to the market will be at prices much higher than before. So long as the inventory shortage remains, we expect the jagged upward trend to continue. If you want to see a video explaining exactly how often home prices fall, you can view it by clicking on the box on the top left corner of your screen. To see a list of my recent housing market reports from other sources, just click on the box below it. Please remember to like this video, check out the links below it, and subscribe to our channel so that you never miss anything.